So let's try these 5 strategies together. We're going to use the G major scale, 3 octaves, so that we can go into the higher register of the cello. So let's say, for example, you want to play this G major scale at quarter note equals 120. So I'm going to put my metronome on. Quarter note equals 120. And we're going to be playing 2 notes per beat. So if you just listen to the metronome for a second, it's going to be like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now that might seem very, very quick to some of you. Let's try this first. Let's see if we can do an octave. So we're going to do 8 notes. And let's just test this. So it's kind of a test to see how fast you can do. Starting on the G after 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we'll try that one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if that seems like it's too fast or you're getting stuck somewhere, so we played 8 notes. Remember, our goal is to play 3 octaves. But if in that first octave you're getting stuck at 120, what you can do is you can just play a few notes. So for example, you might just play 4 notes, like that. And repeat them. And then once you have the 4 notes going at the speed you want to play, and it could be 2 notes, it could be 3 notes, but 4 notes, I think would probably be doable for most of you. Then what you're going to do is you're going to add 1 note. So I'm going to do 5 notes. And for some of you, you might discover that there's a little hiccup when you go and cross the string, and that's because you're doing an extra action. So that might be a spot where you would need to isolate the spot, isolate the string crossings, and how you would do that is you would play 4 fingers on your G string and just practice going back and forth. Until you feel comfortable at 120. So the note plus 1 method is like this. You do a certain number of notes. Let's say it's 4, then you add 1, then you add 1. You may need to add 1 note and stay there for a while. You might stay with 5 notes. Make those work really well. You can repeat those as many times as you want before you add another note. Now what you're going to find, of course, is that in some places it's going to get tricky, right? So for example, if you're playing D and then you have the shift to E, you might find that that's a spot where you lose time. So then you can drill this shift back and forth. Until you can play it at speed. So hopefully that helps you with the note plus 1 method. The next method we talked about is simply the strategy of using less bow as you play faster. So when we play slow, we have lots of time when we start to play faster, we can't keep using that same amount of bow. To a certain extent you can, and if you're trying to create really nice tone, there is a use for using a little bit more bow. But you get to a certain point where if you're using too much bow, you start to lose control. So the key to being able to use less bow but still have a nice sound is to really pay attention to the attack of your note. So if you can't remember what attack is, go back to the lesson on attack and how we create a good attack. So when you play fast, you have a great down bow and up bow attack. That's going to keep you in control and help your notes to have substance. So even as you play fast, if I was to play even faster than that, even less bow. So you notice I really restricted the amount of bow I was using when I played really quickly. So that's something to experiment as well. The third strategy was a quiet hand. And if you remember, what we mean by a quiet hand is keeping this left hand really, really close to the fingerboard and allowing the thumb to rest and relax whenever possible. So when I'm playing a scale like this, whenever there's an open string, I let my thumb just fall down a little bit below the fingerboard. I don't keep it held on, even at fast speeds. And I keep my fingers really close to the string. So you can kind of get in touch with what's going on with your fingers by playing a scale at slow speed and noticing how much your fingers may or may not come off the string. At slow speeds, it's totally fine and acceptable even to have higher fingers because that helps you to keep the rhythm, the slow rhythm when you bring the fingers off the string. At faster speeds, you want to get them very, very close, very curled, and keep them very close to the fingerboard. The fourth strategy is to sync up the left hand and the right hand. And the way that we can do this is by being aware that in actuality, the left hand goes down on the string just a second before the right hand. So the way that you can get in touch with this feeling of the left hand coming down before the right hand moves is to try an exercise with your metronome where we put down the left hand and then play the bow like this. Open, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow, open, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow. So at a very slow speed, if we try that on our metronome, let's see what that is. Right? Open, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow, open, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow. And then you can gradually increase the tempo. So let's say we're at 60. We might go up to 72 or whatever feels comfortable for you. You can go by small increments. But let's try 72. So open, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow, open, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow, finger, bow. And the important thing is that to notice that the left hand and the right hand are doing things at separate times, but eventually when you speed up enough, it becomes so imperceptible that your left hand is coming down just a little bit before the right hand. But this will help you over time to get really organized and be able to play fast without doing the classic, which is to speed up as we get more anxious and fast, and then our tone and quality suffer. And then the last strategy is to use this dragon scale book. Looks like this, a nice thick book full of scales that start slow and get fast in different rhythms. And these are really, really cool. I'm just going to do one demonstration of how these scales work. And let's just open it up to the first page, and we have a C scale. starting at 60 beats per minute for the half note. So it's very slow, and then you gradually speed up. So it says 60 beats per minute, but I found that 60 beats per minute, by the time you get to the fastest speed, is practically unplayable. So I'm going to try this at 50 beats per minute, just to demonstrate what a dragon scale is. So you can see at this slow speed, we can really focus on That one is crazy, that last one. So congratulations to you if you could play that one.